Right now, the alcohol industry is taking a hit, with beer, wine, and spirit makers losing a combined $830 billion in market share from 2021 to 2025.
Yeah, and it turns out Gen Zers, they're actually looking to barbells over bar stools. You get it now, guys? Okay, for their social outlets. Bloomberg Pursuits journalist Sarah Rapport, she talked to me about it a few days ago.
It's both a health decision, and they're also looking for a community in places that they can't find at the bar, because more and more young people don't drink. So it's not just a health choice, it's a health choice and a choice to try and find more friends outside the office or the bar, really.
All right, I want to dig into that community aspect in just a bit, but I have to ask, because we're talking Gen Z and millennials, what about the Gen Xers and boomers? Where do we stand?
Well, the research shows that they're still going to the bar. They're still going to dinner. Maybe they're having dinner parties or house parties and owning homes. For the Gen Z who went to college perhaps in the pandemic and they had to work out from home with YouTube videos, they had to go to class on Zoom, they really want to go work out with other people. They're really into finding a community in a place that they can't, because they maybe started their career remotely. So they're spending all this money on classes to find a community that they didn't have after graduating college.
So you talk about community. So is it more, socializing? Like, can they just go out and go on like a dating app? But no, they want to go and like be where the people are. I guess it is what you're leading to.
Yes, exactly. I spoke to a technology consultant who said she met her boyfriend at a run club, not at a dating app, not at a bar, but at a run club. And she made friends at Pilates. She goes to the same class every day. She compared it to school. She's said it was like sitting next to the same person week after week in a class. It was like being in college. And if you needed something to talk about, there's always the class, right? So it's like an easy icebreaker and a sense of familiarity and community that you just don't get elsewhere for them.
And aside from that, they're throwing parties there, like bachelorette parties. Like, this is the thing now.
I didn't have my bachelorette party at a Pilates
Me
studio.
neither.
I did something else. But yeah, they're telling me that they're hiring out the whole studios, spending thousands of dollars to rent out the equipment, have a teacher in, have mocktails instead of going to the bar. They'll bring their girlfriends to a Pilates class, which is kind of wholesome, I think.
All right, so you mentioned money. So how much are these Gen Z and millennials, how much are they spending on memberships, on classes, on things like that?
I spoke to one person whose budget was $800 a month on fitness, which is
Wow.
quite a lot of money. But they're outspending proportionally millennials and Gen X and boomers proportionally to their income on fitness, and spending more than last year in a Mintel survey as well. So it's growing. The trend seems to be nonstop. And part of it is that they can say that they feel better afterwards. Unlike going to a bar, there's no hangovers. There's no wearable like an Oura Ring or Whoop telling you your readiness score is lower the next day. They just feel better after a gym class.
Okay, it's good to feel that way. You don't want to have the hangover all the time. But they're doing all this and they're spending all this money when, rents are higher, when they're dealing with student debt. Like, how are they making this work?
I think it's a sort of like zero-sum game in their heads, as if maybe I can never afford a house, but I can put maybe a £200 or $200 membership on a credit card, right? So if they don't see long-term prospects, there's the risk of AI for their future. They might as well do something that makes them feel good in the short term. And I think gym spending is a big part of that.
It is. Now, in the article, you mentioned one thing that I want to point out. You talk about how wellness has become a full-fledged identity. Now, I know my social media feed, it's filled with, people working out. It's, what am I meal prepping for the week? Like, all these different things. I mean, does social media have a lot to do with it, too, about more people going, or these younger generations going to the gym?
Yeah, I do think there is a performative aspect with like the hashtag Pilates on TikTok, the clean girl aesthetic, or people wearing their matching $200 Pilates sets and wanting to look the part. I think that is a really big part. I spoke to a content creator in Atlanta who's 23, and she documents all of her gym sessions. She's made friends at the gym, but she's also made it her business online, like her content creation arm. So I think the lifestyle aspect and the way that social media has really driven that, wanting to look a certain way and perform a certain way online, is huge.
Okay, go back to me. The clean girl, what is it? Explain that one to me.
Yeah, the clean girl look is like athleisure and wearing less obvious makeup.
Okay,
yeah, it's sort of a as opposed to the millennial, I would say like Kesha aesthetic, if that makes sense to you. It's a different one, wanting to look, more like wellness oriented, as if instead of you just got back from the bar.
Okay, got it. And last question, do GLP-1s, does that have anything to do with this as well? Does that play into the picture?
I think it does. That didn't come up so much in the research. But people who are on GLP-1s are told to strength train as part of that regimen. So I think that could be, as more younger people get on GLP-1s, as it becomes more mainstream, and wanting to strength train to keep up that as part of the medicine, I think that'll be a really big ongoing part of this trend to keep it going into the future.
All right, I work out in my basement. I don't even go to the gym. So this seems like, yeah, it's a big social thing. But are people still going to the bars? Like, how are bars and restaurants doing?
Bars and restaurants are making menus that cope with people who are on GLP-1s, so more small plates, smaller portions, mocktail options. I've seen a lot of more creative mocktails now for people who aren't drinking. So I think there, of course, is a space for bars and restaurants. I, for one, enjoy a nice bar dinner out. But I think that hospitality, especially like hoteliers and business owners, need to find a way to make a community in the way that the gyms are killing it at, to really get that Gen Z spend at the moment.
I got it. I'll meet you at happy hour, Sarah. Sarah Rappaport.
I'll join you. It sounds great. We can have a mocktail and do a Pilates class.
Totally. Bloomberg Pursuits. Thank you so much. So, David, Christina and I have decided that we're going to go to a class. Yes.
Yeah. After
Are you going to join?
No, I'll have a cocktail and skip the Pilates class. But I hope you guys have a great time. Whenever that transpires, I am eager to hear about it.
It'll be great. You don't want to come and hang out and do some, hundreds with us?
No. Thank you very much for joining us.